Hi, everyone. This is Ray Vag. I'm here at the Lynchburg Art Club. I'm with Kimberly Moray. We're going to be doing a little discussion about her wonderful sculptures and how she got to this point in her life and in her budding artist career. This will be posted on my YouTube channel, Raymond Vag in the Studio, and the new Lynchburg Art Club YouTube channel. So, Kimberly, um, I know that you're new to being an artist and creating these wonderful pieces. Um, I know you also painted for a little while.
Hmm.
So did you start out painting, or did you do sculpture and went to painting, or how did that evolve?
Yep. I started painting. My first real painting I did when I moved down to Mexico, fell in love, had a broken heart, moved back to Hawaii, and then just had to purge that whole thing onto a painting. That was the first time I ever really painted anything.
Uh-huh.
And then after the 2008, I was working in Hawaii, not really doing art. I was working. I was full career mode. And then the recession happened. I moved back to Lynchburg. I'm originally from Lynchburg. Moved back here and decided I wanted to go back to school to change my career because the recession really affected everybody's lives. But so I was going back to school to get a degree in accounting, and I had time, so I started going down to the Academy Center of the Arts and taking painting classes.
Mm.
So I took several painting classes with Kenny and some drawing classes. And, I had a friend, Cindy Walraven, who was always in the pottery studio. And she kept telling me I need to get in the pottery studio, which is also down at the Academy. And finally I did. And there was no turning back. And that was 10 years ago.
Wow.
So I've been doing this for 10 years and started with some classes down there and then just started kind of branching out on my own. My mother's very, she's not an artist. She can do anything, but she's not an artist per se, but her style and eye is wonderful. She had a store in Hawaii. It was called Halimana, and they sourced art and gifts for the spirited, they called it, from all over the world. So it was there that I discovered ceramic masks and elephants and African statues, from Africa, and tall ladies. And it was really there that I got inspired to do this kind of creation. I always loved those things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how it started. And I just have been evolving what I've been making in the studio over the years.
So tell us a little about I know you have some Roku. Is this all Roku here? Or
So everything
Raku?
on this area here is all raku.
Mm-hmm.
Raku is it's a style of firing more than anything, from Japan, from I don't know, 1600s, a long time ago, and it basically involves firing in outdoors in fire, as opposed to just a hot kiln, in fire. But the real beauty comes from the specifics of the glaze and what's in the glaze. But then when it's taken out of the kiln, when it's red, molten, like red lava, but it's red, it comes out of the kiln and then it goes straight into a airtight container that has combustibles in it. And what happens is the burning of the fire that's in that airtight can takes all the air out of the glaze, and that's what makes all these beautiful colors.
Yeah, they are beautiful.
Yeah.
And this subject matter you've worked with before, or is this series a newer series?
You mean the elephants and the ladies?
The elephants and the ladies, yeah.
It's funny. I was thinking about doing this interview, and I was like, "Oh man, I've been making elephants and ladies forever." But then I realized I didn't start out making elephants and ladies. I started out making masks, and I have a whole series of masks that are cool. And then I went through this phase of making horned beings. Like I would get horns of real animals off of eBay and make these busts and faces. I'm always really into faces. And then put these real horns on them. They were cool. And but then it evolved into making these ladies. So these, I've been making elephants and ladies for, I don't know, three years now. And I was thinking that I need to change up, and now I need to start making something else. But the thing of it is every series of ladies and elephants I do, they get a little bit better, particularly the elephants get more anatomically correct. Like they I have some elephants at home that were my like 101 first iterations of elephants, and they're horror. They have giant butts, and they just don't look like real elephants. But so you have to keep doing it over and over and over to get better.
It evolves.
To get better at the
craft. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they are beautiful. Now, you work at the Academy here in Lynchburg. So tell me about your work there and how it relates to the artists that are seen there. The Academy is performing arts and visual arts. So give us a little information about the Academy and your work.
So I was already taking classes there and had been for many years before I started working there. And then Ted Batt, he is the director of visual arts, which means he runs the galleries and he runs the pottery studio. He told me about this job that was coming open, and I just finished school. I just, gotten my master's degree in accounting, and I'd been working at another place doing accounting for several years. And he's like, "Oh, we got a job here." So I applied for the job, and I already had a job, but I wanted desperately to be part of the Academy Center of the Arts. I got to tell you, when I first moved back to Lynchburg, and I moved from Kauai, so it was a very nice place, and I was single. I could live anywhere in the world that I wanted to live. And I really loved being back in Lynchburg. And I'd say two things kept me in Lynchburg. One was the Blackwater Creek Trail, and the second was the Academy Center of the Arts, because it was just wonderful. All the things that it offers. It offers classes in all kinds of different art mediums. We have galleries, and we have 2 theaters. We have the Black Box Warehouse Theater, and of course we have the renovated historic Academy Theater.
It is beautiful. I mean, I just recently moved here within the last 5 or 6 years, and I am totally amazed at the breadth of artwork that's here, and theater, and it's just amazing me, the Central Virginia area, the amount of artists.
Yeah.
And to me, it's sort of they're unsung artists. You might not know about them. They may be starting out. They may be working for years. And part of what I do, and of course here at the Lynchburg Art Club, is to promote these artists, because there is just some absolutely beautiful work. So do you get to work at all with the artists, or you're just sort of in the background supporting them?
Well, I'm the CFO, so I indirectly touch them all because I write their checks when they sell stuff or when they perform or whatever. But I interact definitely with the visual artists, because I just am at all the First Fridays events, and am into the art. So I want to meet them. Somebody else asked me the other day when we have performances, if I go over to the theater and hobnob around with the singers and actors, and I don't do that. I probably should do more of that, but
I certainly would if I had the opportunity.
Yeah. I probably should start doing more of that. But as far as the visual artists, definitely gotten to know them over the years, being near them.
So who are the artists that you look at today, and who are the artists from the past that have influenced your work?
So I really haven't. There's only one artist that I consciously go look at her work, and her name is Nick Mackman, and she's in England. She lives in Devon, and she does elephants. She does animals, and mostly African safari animals, and she'll take groups to Africa, and they'll go into the savannah or whatever, the plains, and study the animals and then sculpt them right there.
Really?
And that's like a bucket list that I'm going to do that with her.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just, today, all you do is go online and flip through Pinterest and put in what you want to look at, and there's a million examples.
It's so easy today.
Yeah.
It's so easy today. It's so easy to, you talk about taking classes. You can go to YouTube and take a class right in your living room or your studio at home.
Yep.
And the art world seems to be expanding,
Yeah.
And I think that the ability to show work all over, it's a global market now.
Yeah.
Now, I know you had a little bit of a background in marketing also.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And how do you see that fitting in with marketing your work?
So the situation as it stands now is I work full time and I don't have enough time to create enough work to really worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working on this show, getting ready for this show since April. So everything that it's in here, I've made between April and November. So the way we do the Raku firing at the Academy is we have a guy that comes in twice a year. His company is called Mobile Raku. And so we do Raku firing twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
And all I can do is in between those firings is make stuff for the next firing. Because I only do it once a week or maybe twice a week. I'll go down on the weekends and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm afraid to market it because if somebody goes and orders an elephant, I can't just whip it out overnight.
Well, you certainly did well in this show. I mean, I'd say at least 80% of your pieces sold.
I'm just blown away.
Yeah.
I've shown at the Academy a couple times and sold stuff, and I told Mom, I'm like, Mom, I sold a bunch of stuff and you weren't there buying it. Which is true, but and I've shown at Bath County. That's a beautiful high-end art show and won some awards there, so that was kind of exciting. But I've never had success like this. This has really been possibly, changing. It's very inspiring, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get back in there and make some more stuff.
Yeah. I think that one of my things is that there is art all over that people can connect with and purchase. I mean, I have a friend that we have a discussion about art changing the world and the I should say the lack of importance of selling art, which, unless an artist sells, it becomes a very expensive hobby if you're not selling, buying all the equipment and buying everything that you need to create. So I encourage people to really look in their communities, like the Lynchburg Art Club, and look at the artists and start to get into art. It's most people unfortunately buy their art at big box stores, which not the greatest. And there's so much talent and two things that I say: everything in my house that is either on the wall or some kind of a sculpture is handmade. I won't put anything up and that isn't handmade. And I always tell people, don't decorate with art. Don't buy art to match the flowers on the sofa. You buy art to connect. That's something that you've connected with. And obviously people have connected with your work. It's really, really beautiful work. What's next?
Well, before I go into what's next, I would like to expand a little bit on the importance of art in the world. And this comes from my personal experience and also the mission of the Academy. And what happened when I went into that pottery studio is I found a community.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't been back in Lynchburg long. Most of my friends were gone or whatever from when I, lived here before, and I found a community. So more than creating, having an end result, what's more important about being in that studio with all those other people is the friendships that I have developed, and the community that I've developed, and the ability to show here. I mean, that all the community building that comes from doing art in a group, or just belonging to a club like this, is, I think, what's the most important, and what can change the world. Because when you find a community or become part of a community that you weren't part of before, doors open that you wouldn't have had open before. So it just expands everybody's world. So I think that's
Really important.
what's the most important part. And what's next? I'm gonna do another round of elephants, because I'm looking for this perfect blue elephant and a perfect Hawaiian blue elephant that I feel like when I get to that, I'll stop doing elephants and do something else, but I haven't got there yet. And I'll keep making ladies, because people like those ladies.
Yeah, they sure do.
And I like evolving them. Like that headdress, that's new. I haven't done that. I've done one other one like that before. Like that headdress I've done that a lot of times. That's a new headdress. And I'm learning how to do the folds better and the draping better. So that's always, it's a challenge to get better at those things. And I like doing that.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I've enjoyed speaking with you. And we only just met at the beginning of the month, at the first Friday. Every first Friday of the month, there's a new show opening here at the Lynchburg Art Club. And I was just so taken with your work, as obviously so many other people were taken with your work, that I really wanted to sit down and speak with you. So thank you for doing this.
Thank you for doing this. This is like...
Again, we're here at the Lynchburg Art Club. This show is going to be up for a few more days. There are a few more pieces that are available in Kimberly's work, and there is so much more artwork here to peruse and possibly bring home to your home and enjoy in your own home. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Again, this will be on my YouTube channel, Raymond Vag in the Studio, and on the Lynchburg Art Club YouTube channel. Thanks again. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.